aren't always as they seem.
Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I have today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Good morning. This is 1100 WSG. I'm U-Turn LaVern, and yes, this is what you're looking for, one street over. What's happening one street over from where you live in? Well, I'll tell you what's going on one street over from where we're living. There is a lot going on. It is fall, and it is that time of year that we have so many things going on, and so we're going to reach out to my friend Craig over at Fiddle Dee Farms, and we're going to get him on the radio this morning. I asked him, I said, he lives not nearby. I'm going to say probably about, over in the White House area. You're quite familiar with
morning.
Fiddle Dee Farms. How are you doing, my friend? So good to talk to you this morning.
Same here. Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. And, you know, it's so funny because when you reached out to Lee Marie and myself, you had been on my mind to give a call to, simply because I wanted to see what was happening over, with your place, Fiddle Dee Farms. And I didn't realize y'all were doing this fall maize, corn maize thing. And tell me that I was trying to pull the name up just as I was calling you, and you know how you get so many different things going. So, I mean, when do y'all sleep? I mean,
January.
I got you. Because y'all have so much going on. But we're talking with Craig and Fiddle Dee Farms, and you have got is this the first year for the corn maze, or is this?
No, ma'am. Actually, this is our 17th season for Shuckles, Corn Maze, and Pumpkin Patch. It sure is.
No way. Okay. Well, so that came before Fiddle Dee Farms.
It sure did. We started Shuckles Corn Maze down in the station camp area in Gallatin, Hendersonville, for about 5 years, and then we bought the property out here in Greenbrier and moved it out here. So we've been out here in Greenbrier for about 12 years, and you know what? It's funny. So many people like yourself really still don't know that we're here. We've been doing it for 17 years, and we get new people every year come and enjoy the corn maze and the festival and all that. So we're still building it. After 17 years, we're still building our audience.
That is amazing to me. And I mean, when you messaged me on this, I was like, well, what else are they doing? Because you guys are known for Fiddle Dee Farms really. Honestly and truthfully, you're probably the reason why I decided not to do a venue. And honestly, it was not something I felt real drawn to. It was something that people kept telling me because I had land, you need to have a venue. Everybody has a venue. And then about that time, you guys came online and I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. And I didn't want to, I honestly, it perfect timing for me because it was one of those things you got to have a passion for that stuff, and because it's a lot, and
You do.
yeah, and your wife
It
does, right? Because that's really the inspiration behind the Fiddle Dee Farms
That's
and the
right.
venue, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it is. I mean, she's the creator. She's the one that dreams up everything. And like I say, that we're kind of two or three different operations. Our main thing at Fiddle Dee Farms is weddings
Right.
with the venue, and we'll do anywhere from 50 to 60 weddings a year there. And then we do the corn maze in the fall. We have done some shows, as you are very aware of, in December. We're not doing our shows this year. To your point, we are so busy through the year. We just decided this year to take a break,
Mm-hmm.
and so after the corn maze is over this year, we have some weddings in November and December, and we're going to take it easy. We're actually going to enjoy Christmas this year. We'll let all of our staff kind of enjoy Christmas a little more this year.
Well, I get that because I mean, I truly and again, I am just stunned y'all been at Shuckles for so long because I had no idea. I just there's and this is something that I keep telling everybody when it comes to this show. Tune in because you just never know what you're going to find out. There's so much going on around this county
That's right.
and so
That's
many cool
exactly right.
things. My kids are chomping at the bit to come and see the studio again.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
and I mean,
absolutely.
so tell them what your day job is, Craig Pooley.
Well, yeah, so my day job is I'm the production manager at the TBN Studios, Trinity Broadcasting in Hendersonville, and like I say, you and your students have been there, and
Fabulous.
most people probably listening to the show will know the studio because of the Huckabee show
Hmm.
with Governor Mike Huckabee, and of course he was elevated to ambassador to Israel. So because of that, we were not able to continue to do his program, and which is too bad. We all loved it. We loved
Hmm.
working with him, but we do other programs. We do a lot of music specials
Okay.
still, and from time to time, folks will see something advertised about a special show that we're doing there, and we invite an audience. But that's my day job. My after work job is promoting the events and things that are happening at Fiddle Dee Farms, and of course, right now we're right in the middle of Shuckles Corn Maze just kicked off last weekend,
Hmm.
and we will continue. We're only open on Saturdays and Sundays to the public. Now we have field trips for the schools and stuff throughout the week, but we're open Saturdays from 10 to 9 and Sundays from noon until 8 o'clock. And we're going to do that all the way up through Saturday, November the 1st.
Okay.
So you got several weeks here still yet to come out. And looks like this weekend the weather's going to be going to be nice. It's going to be a little warm, but it's going to be nice. And so there's so much to do, and many things to do and see and experience when you come out to Shuckles Corn Maze.
I love it. I will come see you guys. I'm gonna try to get I got to reserve my grandkids, because
Yeah,
I have to
yeah.
reserve time with oh, and it's fun. It is, it is so, we're so blessed to have so many that love our grandbabies, but, they have got
Awesome.
baseball, and all the fall
Mm-hmm.
ball and all that kind of stuff. But we can do a Sunday afternoon. I think I can get them for a Sunday afternoon and get them up here.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, because
Well, I hope you can.
this is perfect. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at it, and I mean, it's for especially the age that my grandkids are. I love that you have the animals.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
just
yeah.
what all do you have? I see the lambs on here. What else? What do you have? What do you have as far as animals? I'm assuming like a little petting zoo.
Yeah, little animal corral. I mean,
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I know there's chickens in there. There's some little bitty pigs. They've got a certain type of
Oh,
pig. I don't remember exactly the name of them. There's some goats and some lambs in there, and so yeah, the kids can go in and pet the animals a little bit and enjoy that and see. A lot of folks don't get to have that personal experience with animals like many of us who grew up in the country did,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of a nice opportunity for the kids to do that. Yeah.
How big is the corn maze now? Because I mean, some of these that's the corn mazes. You've got to be careful with little ones; they can get overwhelming. So how does this one? Is it huge, or how does it?
Well, it is 8 acres large.
Okay.
So that's a pretty good sized
Yeah.
corn maze.
Yeah.
Most of them, most farms that do corn mazes are going to be anywhere from 5 to 15 acres. Ours is about 8 acres. It's got about probably a mile and a half of trails in there, and we don't do a specific design like some you'll see.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a random pattern. All this creation comes from my wife Karen, and when it comes time to cut the corn maze, she hops on a zero turn mower and she's got an idea in her head and she just starts cutting.
That's
And
hysterical. I love that.
it's pretty funny because she'll have an idea in her head. She might draw it out on paper a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and she'll just hop on there and cut it. And then we'll get one of our guys has a drone. He'll bring the drone over and take a shot of it, and we'll compare it to what she was thinking. And I tell you what, she's usually about 95% right on target what she planned to do. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun to go out there and get lost. It's pretty easy to get lost. But I tell people all the time, they say, well, what if we get lost? What happens? And I tell them, I said, look, don't worry about getting lost. We send somebody out there every Tuesday to find people that got lost.
That's
So,
hysterical. I love it. I
yeah,
love it. I
yeah,
love corn mazes. I grew up on farm, and I think I've had this
yeah.
conversation. And I used to, I mean, before corn mazes were a thing, I'd get lost in the cornfield just because I just
Oh
wanted
yeah,
to just be by myself,
yep.
and I'd go walking down the rows of corn. And I don't know. I don't guess we had corn mazes when I was a kid back in the 60s and 70s. I don't really remember it. Too many
Yeah.
farmers would be like, "You're not cutting my corn. You're not doing that."
Yeah, I mean, I know growing up, I grew up in Kentucky, and in fact, we actually came to Tennessee. That would have been in the 70s, but we
Okay.
actually came to Tennessee to go to corn maze. But there weren't that many around, and
Okay.
there's 4 or 5 around here in Middle Tennessee, and there's some that have been around longer than we have, and some of the farms are larger than we are. I tell folks, we're just kind of a down home farm, nothing fancy. I mean, but it's beautifully decorated. That the thing that most people just love when they come to Shuckles is it's laid back. It's not so expansive that you can't get around. It's very
Hmm.
easy to get around, and everything's beautiful. And the ladies do such a great job of decorating the place with pumpkins and hay bales and scarecrows and all the fall colors.
Hmm.
And of course, we got tons of food. People love to come and eat our food. We have great food, and it's just really it's a good experience. Most families will come. They'll be there anywhere from 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5 or 6 hours. I mean, we've got people that check in at 10 o'clock in the morning and they don't leave till 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
So it just depends on what your schedule
Hmm.
allows. But you can come and stay a couple hours. You can come and stay all day long, and there's plenty to do. And we are one unique thing about our farm is at least from the around noon before 5 o'clock, sometime between 11:30 in the morning and 5 o'clock in the afternoon, there'll actually be 4 magic shows with Bruce Amato, and he'll do 4 different shows every day. This is his 9th year to be doing the magic shows for us, and he is just super entertaining with the children and a lot of fun. And so Bruce has quite a following. He does about 200 schools a year doing magic shows for schools. And so every time he gets on stage, there's people in the audience that some of them even grew up watching Bruce when they were kids.
Hmm.
So he's a great addition to what we do at the farm. So it's a lot of fun to come and enjoy the magic show. Plus, it's in a covered pavilion, so if it's a little hot outside, you can grab you something to drink and eat and come sit down and watch the show.
I love it. I saw that, the magic show on there, and I thought, now that's
Hmm.
cool. That's different. That is a lot of
Yeah,
fun. Now you have hay
I think.
rides and bonfires and stuff too?
Yeah, I would say if you say what's the most popular thing at the corn maze. Obviously, the corn maze itself is the big attraction that most
Mhm.
people come to try. But right behind that's going to be the hayride, and then of course pumpkins.
Okay.
Those are the three biggest things that people come to do. The hayride is just really nice. It takes you out. Actually, go out around the corn maze, and it's a nice ride out through the fields and everything. It kind of goes through the trees and through the woods out into the corn maze area. And then as you walk into the property, you pass the pumpkin patch. Now, people always ask, "Do you have pumpkins to pick?" And I tell them, "No, we've already picked them for you."
I got you.
The truth is, I wish my buddy Mike Bradley was on here from Portland to back me up. Pumpkins are not easy to grow,
Amen. I've
and
tried. Yeah.
we had tried a few years to grow them, and we finally said, okay, we are not talented enough to do that. And so Mike Bradley at Bradley Acres over in Portland, he provides all of our pumpkins, and we've got all kinds of sizes, all kinds of shapes, weird looking pumpkins. They've all got names, and I don't know what any of them are. But that's probably the biggest thing that people come in to do is to purchase pumpkins. They can purchase them right there, and then we've got a tent set up. If they want to decorate their pumpkin, they can actually just decorate it right there for free. It doesn't cost them a thing if they want to decorate it and take it home with them.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Well, see, and you're talking about raising pumpkins, those potato bugs. I don't know what it is about squash and stuff, but people who have
Hmm.
successfully figured out how to grow those things, it blows my mind because I have tried and tried and tried to grow pumpkins myself on my place, and total frustration. But I get you. So yeah.
Yeah, the best success we have at growing pumpkins, obviously, every year at the end of the corn maze, we will have a certain number of pumpkins left,
Hmm.
and they'll take them back somewhere back in the back side of the property, and they'll toss them. And funny enough, they'll grow back there.
Yeah.
They'll come the next year. Those pumpkins are growing everywhere.
Isn't that funny?
But
Yeah.
yeah, but they're hard to maintain. You have to keep the weeds out of them and all that.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was just way more than we are capable of doing. But we
Hmm.
have plenty of pumpkins. People do not need to worry about that. We've got hundreds of pumpkins sitting there waiting for you to pick the one you want. So
Okay.
come on out and do that.
I love it. I love it. And I'm just so glad you reached out and put this on my radar because this is just another place that I was not aware of and just completely shocked at how long y'all been at it. But
Well, let me tell you. I think one of the things I know your listeners might really appreciate, and this is the only time it's going to happen this year, and it's going to be this Sunday.
mm,
You talk about us being busy. One of the other things that my wife does, and I help her, because I assist her in whatever she decides. Okay,
yeah.
but she is the director of what's called One Worship Choir,
Oh,
and that is
okay.
a community choir that she started about in the spring of last year. She was started about 15 months ago. Fantastic choir. I mean, there's about 60 people, 65 people in the choir at the moment, and typically 35, 45 of them are available for all the different concerts. But all that to be said, this Sunday at 2 o'clock, One Worship Choir will be performing on the stage. And so if folks want to hear just some great gospel music done by a choir, this would be a good opportunity to come out. It'll be part of the general admission. It will not cost any extra to hear the choir, but they can come listen to the choir and then continue their day doing whatever they want to do with the corn maze and the hay rides and all that. But this is the only time during this season that the choir will perform at Shuckles will be this Sunday at 2 o'clock.
Oh man. That's cool. That would be cool. And I saw
Hmm.
that you were having the choir and I saw that you had a worship and that was something that I was definitely going to get to talk about because I mean, what a cool thing. I just think that's
Yeah.
what, and so this is another thing that she's into, huh?
It is. And not to get too far off track, but it's probably your audience will appreciate this. many of our churches don't do choirs any longer.
No.
They do worship teams and that sort of thing, and that's fine. But there's a bunch of us who grew up singing in the choir that we don't get the opportunity to do that anymore. And so she just decided to give those folks an opportunity. And so she created this choir, and we've got people from churches from all over Sumner, Davidson, Robertson County. They come and be a part of this choir because they don't have a choir at their church any longer. And it's just absolutely fantastic. And we'll do, if folks will keep track of us, it has its own website as well. Not to throw too many out, but oneworshipchoir.com. If folks will go there from time to time, they will see when the choir is going to be performing. I know we have one coming up in Madison. I believe it's November 15th. And then starting November 30th, we'll kick off some Christmas concerts at some churches in the area. So it's just been a great blessing to do that. And the people who have come, they love to sing, they love to worship, and it's a fantastic group. So if you get a chance to come out Sunday, this would be a great time to see them at the farm on Sunday.
I love it. And, I went and pulled this up because it says, you can join the choir, you can do all this, because that was going to be my next questions. It's like, how can somebody get involved in this? Because I love to sing, but I've never been in a choir. Never been in a choir.
Oh, well, you would love this.
Yeah. And,
I tell you what, being surrounded by a whole group of people that just love to sing, and now I'm going to tell you, Karen, she works us hard. This is no fluff choir thing. This is one we work hard.
That's great.
But the results are they're just fantastic. In fact, maybe sometime we'll bring Karen on and let you and her talk about the choir.
I would love to talk. You mentioned her so often, and I was just sitting there thinking, I really need to meet her. I have not. Maybe I'm assuming she'll be around at Shuckles.
She will be. She'll be back and forth. We mentioned the weddings.
Yeah, of course.
Oddly enough, October is our busiest wedding season.
Course.
Most people think May is, and May is busy. But we will have some of these weekends in October. We have 3 weddings going on next door on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so she'll be back and forth between the weddings and the corn maze, wherever she is needed. She will be there. But yeah. She'll be around.
Well, my son is getting married in Huntsville in October this month. I mean, just in a few weeks on a Thursday night of all things. I was like, Thursday night, what are we doing? But it's like when you can get venues and things like that, and they have this big mansion that overlooks Huntsville, and that's where they want to get married, and it's like It's a Huntsville event, but it's like a little historic town, kind of like Mansker's Fort too, So and that's where they wanted to get married, and Thursday was available, so we're doing a Thursday night wedding. And so
we do some of that. We do some of that too. It just depends on people's schedules, and of course, when it comes with April, May, and October, those Saturday dates book up really fast. I mean, in fact, I don't think there's any Saturdays left for next year in those months, and so we're already booking Fridays and Sundays and Thursdays, and so. But it's just people like the look. They like the fall colors.
Yeah.
And that's why they like to do it in October and November. So
yeah, I was married in November, and I had so many people comment on the bride and the leaves because they took pictures of me in my wedding dress with all the fall leaves, and that was extremely popular for that time. But that's when we still got married in churches, though.
Yeah, that's true. Most of us did back then.
We still got married in churches back then, but now it's all the venues, and y'all do just such a beautiful job. And and I truly I do thank y'all for showing me that I didn't need to do that. Everybody was trying their best because we have a really pretty farm, and it's just not my thing. I don't have that drive that your wife has. That's not what I feel called to. And you better have a calling on you if you're going to step in and do that.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work. It is definitely a lot of work, but it's very enjoyable, very rewarding. It's really cool to be a part of young couples beginning.
I can
And
imagine.
so there is a lot of rewards to it.
I bet. I bet. Well, y'all do a beautiful job. I've been to many weddings at your venue, and it is just beautiful. And I'm excited to check out Shuckles and share it with my grands because like you said, it's just kind of chill and lay back. A lot of the places that we go is just almost overwhelming. It's just
Oh
there's
yeah.
just it's like what do we do? And so this just sounds like just a really relaxing Sunday afternoon. And so I'm going to reserve my grandkids and come see you guys. This sounds just perfect.
Well,
So.
that would be awesome, and I'll tell you for the folks that are listening, if they'll do this, we do encourage folks to get their tickets online.
Okay.
That we only sell so many tickets per hour, but just to make so we can keep control of our parking and our
Okay.
attendance. So if they'll go to shucklescornmaze.com, you'll see a buy ticket button almost every half a page.
Okay.
Log into that and to get their tickets. But if your listeners, when they go to check out, if it will ask you for a promo code, if they will type in WSGI, they'll get $3 off of each ticket.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
we're going to use that promo code for your listeners, but it's just simply the radio station call letters WSGI,
Very good.
and that'll get them $3 off of each ticket.
Well, now the one thing that because I'm online looking at it right now. Explain to me, what do you get with your general admission ticket versus the events, the different things that you buy when you get in there? Because that's always the
Yeah.
case of these kinds of venues. So what comes with that
That's
ticket
right.
price?
Yeah, well, there's a whole bunch of things. If you go to the website and you scroll down on that home page, it'll
Uh-huh.
say general admission includes.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
you've got of course, your main things: the corn maze, the hayride.
Okay.
That's included. The jumping pill, animal corral. There's all kinds of places for the kids. If you've got a kid that's anywhere from 4 or 5 years old up to 10 or 12 years old, there is tons to do. There's all
Oh,
kinds
wow.
of play areas and slides and things like that, swings and places to play, big 40-foot super slide, and a rope maze. There's a
Mm-hmm.
red, white, and blue maze where you make your turns based on the colors. So you start off, you fall red, then you go blue, then you go white, red, white,
Okay.
red, white, blue, and then you kind of try to find your way out of that. There's cornhole games in different places around the property people can play. Of course, the magic shows are included in the general admission as well. There are a few things that are not included, and we use what we call shuckle bucks.
Mm-hmm.
They're punch cards, and the big pumpkin plunge slide, which is a ton of fun. The face painting, the cow train is a little ride for the kids. So again, all this is listed on the home page of the website. It'll show you what's included in general admission, and then, like I said, there's only about 9 or 10 things that are extra, and that you use your shuckle bucks for that. But for the most part, your general admission will keep you busy all day long.
Well, that's what I just pulled up, and it's and I'm so glad you clarified that, because if you go to this the page, guys, hit the home page, and it goes general admission includes, and then there's just a plethora of things that are on here. So, because I mean, I did see that you had the shuckle bucks, and so that's why I was kind of like, okay, what do I do? Do I need to buy shuckle bucks and all that? So you can absolutely, go to the home button on their webpage, and then scroll down, and it says general admission includes, and you just see all that's included, and there's a ton, like Craig said, there's a ton to do. So this looks like so much fun.
I'm sure there are some things that are not on there because
Right.
they add stuff every year.
Right.
And I'm not sure if I've even totally updated the website with everything that's new, but there's more than enough to do there.
Oh, yeah.
You can be there for many, many hours, and your kids are going to have a good time.
For sure. Well, we'll come. Like I said, I'll get there on a Sunday afternoon with my grandbabies, and you're open now, Saturdays and Sundays until November 1st.
That's right.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
very good. All right, Craig, I'm going to be calling you. My kids are chomping at the bit to come back and see your studio again. So
Okay, well, you just let me know. We'll get it all set up.
And don't forget, I got a young man just waiting to be an intern when you're ready for one. Don't forget about us.
I'll do that. I'll keep that in mind for
Yeah,
sure.
okay, for sure. Craig Pooley, he is with all things recreational. Shuckles Corn Maze is the latest thing, but they're Fiddle Dee farms and just all. If you're looking for a great wedding venue, reach out to them. They do a beautiful job. Thank you, Craig. God bless you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You
We'll
too.
see. We'll talk to you again soon. Shuckles Corn Maze, guys.
right.
It's open right now on Saturdays and Sundays, and you can go online get your tickets by reaching out to them today. And as he said, be sure and get those tickets online because they have a limited number of tickets that they're going to sell. So you want to be sure and check that out. That was a lot of fun. I want to go. I mean, it looks like just a great one for my grandkids. Just really the perfect little thing. And so we're going to reach out. Leah Blocker's outside my studio. I saw her walk in. Leah, come on in, darling. I haven't seen her in forever. Well, Leah's one of those people that I see across the way, and I'll go, Leah, and you'll be busy with your baby girl, and we don't get to talk. But I tell you, as I'll go ahead, we're going to say hello, and then I'm going to go ahead and do one of my breaks. But Leah is here, Leah Blocker. She is with CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocate. I love the way our sweet, sweet Mayor Vogel says it. How does he? I can't even remember exactly how he says it, but he doesn't say CASA.
Yeah.
And I get so tickled at him. He's so precious. But CASA or something like that. And I mean, you mean CASA, brother? And he's like, yeah. But I get so tickled at him. And whenever Brian Pooley said, he goes, hey, Brian, I miss you, brother. It was so funny. I bumped their show a couple of times because we were so busy around fair time. I saw you across the way at the fair.
Oh, yeah.
And was going to come over and say hi. And the next thing I know, y'all had moved. And so I didn't know, because you just lose track of people at the fair so quickly.
Especially with a little one.
Yes. How old is she now?
She's 5.5.
Oh, my goodness. She's growing like a weed.
She is.
But when Brian put y'all on the list, because I haven't seen him like in a month now, but he wanted to, because they are the bridge builder to the nonprofits in Robertson County. He gave me this fall list of people, and I was like, oh, Leah, Boo Bash Dash is coming up.
That's right.
And I just keep meaning to get more involved with CASA. Y'all have got such an incredible program, and it's just every time I turn around, it's like it's time for the Boo Bash Dash again. Man, time goes so fast.
I know it does. It's hard to believe it's October the 2nd.
I know. I cannot believe it. And the Boo Bash Dash, if you're not aware, this is an opportunity. This is y'all's big fundraiser.
It is.
It is your big fundraiser every year. And it's always so exciting for the kiddos because they get to dress up. And it just is a big event. What is the date this year?
October the 25th.
Okay. So it's always the Saturday before Halloween.
That's always our goal, Saturday before Halloween.
And the weather's going to be beautiful this year. It's going to be perfect. We're just speaking it into existence right now.
That's right.
For sure, for sure. So why don't you go ahead and unpack for everybody? We want to mention this. We want to talk about all that CASA does, but CASA, I'm trying to remember how he says it. CASA.
He's such a big support for us.
He is. Oh, he loves you guys. That's one of the things. He'll come in here and we'll just spend time just chatting about all the things like CASA, and the Isaiah House and Open Door and Safe Baby Court, and just the list goes on and on and on. Safe Baby Court I got to mention because that's how we met Tiffany. Is she started with y'all, right?
She did.
And then she bounced over to United Way, and then from United Way to Safe Baby Court. They're all intertwined.
We are.
You're all intertwined. And it's just such a beautiful community of people loving on our kids. And I mean, because a lot of times I'll find out somebody that's involved with CASA that's also involved with Open Door or Isaiah House or something. They're involved in 2 or 3 things because you fall in love with loving on these kids,
right,
and just giving them that safe place.
I think that's one thing that Robertson County is lucky is that we have so many nonprofits that work together. I had somebody from Davidson County ask me one time for Boo Bash Dash. We open up if any other nonprofit wants to bring a table and set up and have just kind of information to share. We open that up, and they said, "Are you trying to give your money away?" And I said, What do you mean? And they said, well, if you bring other nonprofits in, you're giving your money to them. And I said, no, we work as a team here in Robertson County. And we do. We work great together. And so we open up that opportunity because not everybody has the time to devote to CASA. But maybe you have an hour a week to go to Isaiah House. Yeah. Or maybe you have time to do both. So we do. And the nonprofit team here is phenomenal.
It really is. It really is. And that's why we give so much time to United Way, is because they connect those dots so beautifully. And we appreciate you, Brian, for getting, because this is like, Leah was on my list to call this month. And then I'm like, oh, there you go. Brian already did it for me. And so, and I got a message from her yesterday, and I was like, yes, absolutely. But I want to address something really quickly, though. How are you? Because everybody got really freaked out when you had an accident, and we were all getting the text, and we were like, what? Because you got hit by a car.
I did get hit by a car.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you obviously are fine. And I heard very quickly, hey, she's fine. But our hearts just stopped, because, well, we've had some people from Good Pasture that have been involved in a pedestrian accident. And it's horrifying, that you have to be so careful just walking down the street. And I mean, everything okay? Any repercussions?
It is. I was actually in Gallatin for an adoption.
Oh, wow.
And I had left the adoption and was walking across the street, and I got hit. I did have to go through some physical therapy, and the end result was you got to know your limits. It's not bad enough for surgery. It's not going to ever completely heal, so you just got to know your limits. But it was a scary time, but
sure.
But I'm good.
Well,
I do kind of cringe going across the road now, but
I can't imagine.
It's been almost a year. November will be a year.
Yeah, because I remember it very clearly, because the text went flying.
They did.
And I mean, went flying. And it was like, and we were all just held our breath until we knew you were okay. I'm so thankful you're okay.
Well, and I was so lucky because I knew I kept telling somebody I couldn't take my phone into the courthouse.
Right.
And I kept saying, I need my phone out of my car because a block down the road, they're still taking pictures from the adoption and somebody can come help me. And so they finally got my phone, and I was lucky enough, and the kids will never forget that adoption where somebody got hit by a car.
No, they won't. That will be one that will stay with them. My goodness. But so glad you're okay.
Thank you.
I've seen you out in town. I was like, well, she's doing good. She's not limping or but I just trying to get. You don't want to pry, but in the same sense, I know people have been, concerned about you, just like I have been, and I was just so glad to see you come bebopping in here. And when I saw you at the fair, I was like, she's doing good.
Yeah, I'm good. And for the record, it did not happen in Springfield.
Yes.
It was in Gallatin.
Yeah, see, I didn't realize that. Yeah. I assumed it was around here.
No, it was in Gallatin.
Okay, well, very good. So glad you're doing great. And so tell people, I tell you what, let me do my break. Let me do my break here, and then we'll come back, and I want you to just unpack for people what CASA is. For people who have never heard of it, they think it's because they think house. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, no, it is an acronym, and we'll unpack that for you because it is so beautiful, the work that you guys do. Okay, so let's stop for just a moment though, and we're going to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. If you're looking for any help in the real estate community, and this is one, guys, I had somebody tell me, say, I could do your Barry Richards and your Rebecca Richards ad. I'm like, well, good. That means that you are listening, and that's the beauty of repetitive advertising is whenever you're needing some help in real estate, those are the names that are going to come to mind because there's going to be something there. I talk a lot about trying to get my kids back to Robertson County. I raised my children to fly, and they have all flown beautifully, and I'm super proud of them. You don't want me to start bragging on my kids because I could, but I would love to get one of them back here. And to do that, I know when we were trying, one of my twins, when they were looking for property, now they have settled in Mount Juliet, but when they were really looking to really settle, we could have gotten them out here if we'd had high-speed internet already. And since Cumberland Connect came around, we do. Well, that was a game changer for this area with your real estate value and the availability because my son, the one I'm talking about, he works for a company. They do a lot of work from home. He's HCA, not everything, but they've got to have the ability to be able to log in and really do their work from home. And we didn't have that yet when they were looking to settle. Well, we do now. And that's a game changer for you. You need to know those things about the area you're wanting to move into. You may have your eye on a piece of property somewhere and it will not work for you because you need high-speed internet. And maybe it's not out there. Maybe you like really having availability of having gas hookups and I love my gas appliances. And those are the kinds of things that you've got to ask those questions of yourself. And Barry and Rebecca, they ask those questions. They make sure they get to know you so they know your needs and know exactly what it is you're looking for when it comes to buying property. And they're going to ask those questions you're not going to think of. They are Robertson Countyans like me. They got here about 30 years ago. I think I got here a little bit ahead of them, but they've been up in Cross Plainians, so they specialize in Robertson County properties. But they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. They're originally from Kentucky, just like myself, so they get if you're going to live in Kentucky and you're going to work in Tennessee, your work state might not have an income tax, but your home state where you're living does. And so that means you're going to have to figure that into your bottom line, your budget, and how it's going to affect how much home you can afford, how much money is coming in, how much is going out. They know how to look at all those things. If you've got property and you don't even really know what it's worth, they'll do a free market analysis for you and let you know the piece of property that you're sitting on. You could expect it to bring this at sale. Always a great time to buy. It doesn't matter if interest rates are high or low. As they always say, if the interest rates are high, housing prices are lower. Interest rates go down, housing prices go up. So it always balances out. So when that property comes available that you had your eye on, you better jump on it. Exit Prime Realty, Barry and Rebecca Richards. Go and follow them today. They've got a brand new price on a property up in Cottontown. So if you've been dreaming of living in Cottontown, they got a beautiful little spot here, 358 Spring Valley Drive in Cottontown. Reach out to them today. You can go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertscounty.com. Rebecca's number, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, and let them know you turned sent you. Leah Blocker is in the house with CASA. What, Leah, does CASA stand for us?
Court-appointed special advocates.
What does that mean?
So we work with the kids in juvenile court.
Yeah.
They have to, we get people call a lot of times, can you help us? And we try to point them in the right direction, but in order to actually have a CASA assigned, it has to come through juvenile court.
Okay.
And all of our cases are DCS cases.
Mm-hmm.
So we train advocates, and right now we have about 38 active advocates who are serving kids. Last year, we served 157 children.
Wow.
And while it's a phenomenal number and it's the biggest number we've ever served, it still wasn't 100% of the children. And it's really sad that there are that many children to be served. We serve children who have any type of abuse or neglect. And sometimes they are still in the home with the parents. Sometimes they're with grandparents or another placement. And sometimes they're in foster care. We do all of those. We train our advocates to work with the children. We say that we are the voice for the children because so many times, we have cases where it's the nature of the beast. DCS caseworker changes. If you move, your school changes, your doctors change, your friends change. And sometimes these changes happen. We have a case right now. The children have been moved about 4 times, and they're little. They're little kiddos. Oh. And so they don't really have a voice. And so our advocate comes in to be the voice for that child. In that particular case, mom and dad, they weren't getting on the right track. It did not look like it was very promising for reunification, which is always our number one goal. And our advocate stayed with them and answered all those millions of calls every day. And we got a caseworker who finally bought on and really supported this mom. And she's looking like she's moving towards reunification now. Yeah. And I truly believe that the advocate has been the pivotal person in that case. So we do go in, we get to know the families, we get to know the children, we get to know, sometimes we go to the schools, sometimes we go to the doctors, sometimes we go to IEP meetings and sit in IEP meetings. It just depends on what that child needs.
Individual education plans.
Yes.
I
know, we throw around acronyms all the time.
Individual education. And that just means that the child is maybe, there could be all kinds of things. It could be that they're gifted and they're super smart, and so they kind of are on a different plane. It could mean that they're struggling with reading. It could mean that they do everything well except math. Could mean that they've got a home life that needs extra attention. That's what IEPs are. It could be anything and everything. So anyway, I'm sorry. And the teacher in me just wanted to make sure I knew the acronyms.
I think one of the best ways for me to tell what a CASA does is to kind of give a story. Mm-hmm. So we have an advocate, and she has actually been an advocate for CASA in 2 other states before she came to Tennessee. Wow. So we were very lucky to get her. Not only that, but she's bilingual. Oh, so wow. She was working with a family who was a Spanish-speaking family, and the young lady is in high school, And she had always had a dream of being a nurse, but because of her home life and situations that she had been faced with, she never believed it was possible. This advocate stepped in and went above and beyond and found that during the summer, Austin Peay offers a nursing program for rising seniors. And it's just kind of to get your feet wet, introduce you to the program. And so the advocate worked and got her into that program. Well, our advocates, basically for liability purposes, we're not allowed to transport the children. And so this child said, that's great, but I can't get there. I don't have transportation. And the advocate said, no problem. And so she found a donor who got Uber cards.
Oh, wow.
And because she doesn't really trust society all the time, she met the young lady at camp every morning to make sure she arrived safely. And the young lady was very successful. And at the end, she said, Friday we have a family lunch where you can come and see what we've learned, but my family is not going to come. Could you come? And the advocate said, you know what? My family was supposed to leave for vacation on Thursday, but yes, I'll rearrange. And she rearranged her family vacation to leave on Friday so that she could be there for that kiddo.
Wow.
And so now I truly believe that kiddo is going to see, I can do it. I have what it takes and I can do this. And she's going to be very successful. So that advocate truly went above and beyond, and it's been a phenomenal thing to watch.
See, now I did not realize that CASAs were available for kids in high school.
We do 0 to 18.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking it was all younger, and and there's a young person that I'm aware of that's going to be in juvenile court, and I don't know if they have a CASA or not. It's just somebody that's come on my radar that I'm concerned about. That I needed to. I mean, can I talk to you about that, or is it something that
you can't? Because sometimes what happens in juvenile court, we don't have enough advocates yet to be appointed to every single case.
Right.
Plug, if you would like to be an advocate,
there you go.
Please call us.
Yeah.
But if there's a case where it's in juvenile court and there is not an advocate appointed, then an attorney can request, DCS can request to say, can we please have a CASA advocate on this case?
Okay.
We are on most of the cases, but we just have not, we don't have enough manpower to get to 100% yet, but we're trying real hard.
Yeah, it had always been in my mindset that it was all younger, like, I don't know, elementary age kids. And then once they got into the juvenile age range, it wasn't necessarily something that was available for them.
Well, and there's two sides of, it's not the juvie behavioral side. We're the DCS dependent and neglect side. And that's where we serve.
I gotcha. So if I'm dealing with a young person that they're in juvenile court because of their actions per se. Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk privately about this, but I just didn't have any idea that they were available for the older kids. I mean, it's just so fascinating. So tell people how they can be a CASA. When will you have your next training?
We plan to start in January.
Okay.
We have a couple I'm really excited. We have a couple advocates who just went through Train the Trainer to help us train some of the advocates. And so it doesn't just solely rely on staff doing it, and it gives us some other input. I think it's really important for advocates to hear from each other. And they just finished yesterday, the Train the Trainer. So we're going to start in January and start incorporating them so that everybody gets different. I think it's important to hear from different people and not just one trainer, so you can hear a little bit of different experiences. So January is our next class. It is a 30-hour training, but we try to do it one night a week. We say for 3 hours. It's not always 3 hours, but for 3 hours, one night a week. And like this last class we did, we rotated between in-person and virtual. I'm a big in-person believer because you build the bond between the team. But at the same time, recently we had somebody that lived at Fort Campbell.
Yeah.
Well, that's not reasonable to ask them to come once a week. And I think COVID taught us that it is possible to do Zoom. Right. So we try to do every other week in person and Zoom to give the people, because everybody's got families, everybody's got responsibilities, everybody's busy. So if that works better. And COVID also taught me that if you're sick and you can't make it to the in-person meeting, then we're going to Zoom you in, because it's easier to Zoom you in than make up the work later.
Yeah.
And so we're able to do that as well.
Well, very good.
So January will be the next one.
And so, and then I'm guessing for 10 weeks then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any particular night that you?
We have done Tuesday in the past. We're thinking about moving to Thursday this time because our advocate meetings are once a month on Thursdays, and we incorporate that into our training. So Thursday nights from about 6 to 8:30.
Okay.
Is usually what we meet.
So, and it's just one of those things. Again, there's just so many wonderful things I'd love to be a part of, and man, this would be a big one. And I don't see it happening in the next year, but it's on my radar for sure because it's just we've just got to be there for our kids. Yeah. And I mean, with the schools, what we're doing, just being in the school and just being somebody the kids can come and talk to, like the one I was telling you. They're sharing a lot of stuff with me that I don't know why they decided to share with me. I guess they just decided that, I looked like somebody that would listen, maybe. Mm-hmm. And these kids they're going through so much, and a lot of it's because of the addiction crisis we've been through. I've had people that work with the sheriff's office and different ones. They say, it used to be when you would go in to remove a kid, they would fight for them. And now, far too often, it's like, there's their stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that just breaks my heart.
Absolutely.
I was teasing earlier talking to Craig Pulley over at Shuckles Corn Maze. And I said, well, I've got to reserve my grandkids because I have to, we all fight. And I say that tongue-in-cheek teasingly. Oh, I'm so thankful that I have to reserve my time with my grandkids and I have to fight for time with them because isn't it beautiful and wonderful that they've got so many people that love them that are just vying for their time because there are so many kids that really truly have no one in their CASA. Is there someone?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And just that, like you said, that revolving door that is the DCS and all the social workers and things like that, because it is an industry that is not well compensated, and so there's a lot of turnover. Wouldn't that be fair? You say,
yeah, absolutely.
And so that really, if you're not going to pay for if you're not going to spend the money, you're going to have people that'll get into it, and it'll get overwhelming, and they're like, oh, I need to go do this or that. And I wish we paid high dollar for the people that are serving our children. Because,
and on the other end, I agree they don't get paid enough, but I think even if they got paid more, it is a stressful job. Yeah, it is a very stressful job for them.
Yeah. That it just, you get to a point that you just kind of get burned out. I would imagine. I know I worked for 7 years in full-time ministry. You talk about anything that you're serving people like that is overwhelming because there's a lot of kids that you end up, because we have a benevolence center and we would see a lot of kids and a lot of just, stories that you're just like, let's fix it. Mm-hmm. What do you do to fix it? You just get involved in their lives. And that's how you help fix it. Just the story you shared about your advocate that made such a difference in that young girl's life to where she's going into nursing now. That's a commitment. That's amazing.
Well, and we have some other teenagers, and their history and the things that they've gone through, you can't imagine. You just can't imagine. But when they walk into court and they see their advocate, they run and hug her.
Oh, wow.
And they're so excited because there's a familiar face. There's somebody who keeps showing up. There's somebody who's there. And you can't beat that feeling for the advocate to know that I've been there and I've helped that child. But so many of our advocates are such great people that they don't even see that for themselves. They just say, hey, I'm just trying to help. And you're like, no, but you have no idea how much you have helped and made a difference in that child's life.
I love it.
We have one advocate. He's been an advocate for many, many years. And the family just celebrated 7 years that the children had been in the home and 4 years to the day of that where they were adopted. Mm. And my advocate is still kind of like an adopted grandparent to the kids. He goes on vacations with them, and the family does holidays together. And it's a great thing to watch that they formed enough of a bond with the family that they still 4 years later are still in their lives.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's great.
If you're somebody, if you're like, you don't really have much family and you're, maybe you didn't have kids and grandkids, get involved in this and you'll have them. Talking to my friend, Becky from AFS, and they do all the foreign exchange. and she doesn't have biological children, but she has this plethora of children all over the world that she has hosted. And I think it's the same thing with CASA, and maybe you don't have that bond, and you're like, maybe you're aching for that grandparent bond. Oh, you'll find it here. You'll find it here.
Yeah. And the other thing is, people have a misconception that, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time to do this. And your case is kind of what you make it. And you can do as much in as little time. But most of the time, we say it's 10 hours a month.
Yeah.
And everybody has an extra 10 hours a month if you want it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of rearranging some things. And because once you go through the training, you get to make your own schedules. You get to decide when you're going to go see the children. You get to arrange with the families. You get to arrange with the schools when those visits are according to your schedule. So, when it comes to court dates and meetings and that kind of thing, yes, we would love for you to be there. But if you can't, we've got 3 staff members that can step in and fill in for you for that part. So when people say, oh, I don't have time, you do. We can make it work.
How long have you been involved with CASA?
I've been there 7 years.
7 years. And what is your background then?
So I majored in music therapy at the University of Alabama, Roll Tide.
Oh, funny.
And then I worked for 17 years at a residential facility for adults with disabilities. And I started in the recreation department and went all the way up through administration. I worked for a few months and learned a lot and never slept I was a supervisor over 16 group homes in Nashville.
Wow.
And then I went to work for it was kind of like a military school. It was an up and coming thing. I helped get it started. It was through the military, but it was a education. They came and stayed for 6 months, and you could get your high school diploma. You could get credits to go back to high school.
Oh, wow.
Or you could get your HiSET and finish school that way.
Wow. Okay.
And then I came here.
Then you came here. So interesting. I'm always interested in the folks' background, but we're talking with Leah Blocker, and I just love her. She's one of my favorite people here in Robertson County, running CASA, as Mayor Vogel says. I love you, brother. I'm just teasing you. But we don't want to, I just looked up and it's like we got a couple of minutes left. So I'll do the UPS ad tomorrow. Go to UPS, not just for your Amazon drop-offs. Go and see the UPS store, because they, of course, are your print store. Everybody there is a notary, and we'll talk more about them tomorrow. But they're up here at 513 Memorial Boulevard. But in this last couple of minutes, I want you to invite them again to Boo Bash Dash and all those things, because it's such a fun event. Weather's going to be perfect. We're going to speak it right now, Lord. It's going to be perfect. But tell them again about Boo Bash Dash.
October 25th. It is a 5K or a 1 mile fun run. And the best part is you get to wear your Halloween costume, and there's a costume contest. But we do invite, if you have a business or you have a nonprofit and you want to come and bring a booth, bring it. We have a petting zoo coming. We have bounce houses coming. So I try to make it an event for the whole family, bring everybody out that morning. We are still looking for sponsors. This is our fundraiser. This is how we are able to go from year to year, is through Boo Bash Dash and the sponsorships that we get through this. So that truly is a commitment that we need from our community.
And it starts at Travis Price, right?
We actually start at the fairgrounds now.
Fairgrounds, okay.
We used to do Travis Price, but we moved to the fairgrounds, and we do run the Greenway. And so the only road that we pass is Wilkes Road.
Yeah.
And so we run the Greenway to Travis Price and back.
Okay. And that's really, I used to walk that all the time, and it is so beautiful down through there. I imagine the cornfields will still be, I don't know, they may have the corn picked by then. I'm not sure. But there were some cornfields out through there at one point. And what time are we starting again?
Starts at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Do we need to pre-register? Can we register that?
You can, if you want a shirt, you better pre-register before October 15th to be guaranteed a shirt. And then, and I've got my card, and I'll give you all the information you can put down in the comments and stuff for getting registered. But if you want a shirt, it's guaranteed by October 15th, which is really important. And we'll have package pickup the night before. But if you get up that morning and you decide, hey, I want to run a race today, or I want to walk a walk today, you can come out that morning as well.
And so if I wanted to come and bring my kids, what ages do I need to register?
Anybody that wants to walk can walk. Now, if you're in the stroller, we're not going to ask you to pay for anything. Sure. And if they're small, but if they want to get a T-shirt and they really want to be involved in the costume contest and stuff, they could do the 1 mile. My child is looking forward to the 1 mile fun run. Last year, she went. Half a mile, I think, was carried back the other half mile, but whatever.
That's okay. That's okay.
So, and people, we always have the question, can we bring our dogs? And as long as they're on a leash and well behaved, you can bring your dogs and go down the greenway with your dog.
Fun.
And
dress them up.
That's right. Costumes. We've got people who are getting pretty competitive about the costume contest. So bring your best game.
There you go. I love it. Leah Blocker with CASA, whatever, court-appointed special advocate. Be a CASA. You just can't imagine if you pour into these kids how much they're going to pour back into you, much more than you give. And the Boo Bash Dash, the big fundraiser, the Saturday before Halloween, get out there and be a part of it. It'll be just wonderful. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Talking up always. And thank you, Brian, for setting it up. I didn't have to make the phone call myself. But I don't know, when this far out, I don't know, we might have another day. Would you want to come back in and remind people again?
Sure.
We might, as we get closer in, have you swing back by.
My sister loves it because she gets to take my child to school.
Oh, there you go. Very good. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.
So good to see you. And so good to see you guys. Tomorrow, of course, we're going to have another episode of Faith Friday. My friend Lisa Fort will be here. And I'm just going to commit right now to Lisa. I'm going to shut my mouth and let you talk. She's one of these people that I love my spiritual sisters, and we get together and we start talking. And next thing I know, I've done all the talking and hadn't let them talk. So Lisa's one of those. She's been so great. She comes from Hendersonville, and I'm going to shut my mouth and we're going to hear. So Lisa, you better bring it tomorrow, man. It's going to be all you, but it'll be another episode of Faith Friday, and I hope you'll be a part of it. Thank y'all for joining us. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
It's